So after all this time of watching the Vampire Diaries and the originals, we finally figure out where the werewolves came from. But let's go ahead and discuss these plot holes that came with Julie Peck revealing this. What is going on, guys? So I know I'm probably a month late on this, but you best believe I'm not gonna let a chance to slide to talk about how we finally, after 8 to 9 years, were waiting for them to reveal how werewolves came to be. They told us how everything else came to be: sirens, immortals, psychics, vampires, but they would never tell us about the werewolves. So now that we finally have the werewolf secret revealed, let's go ahead and discuss some of the plot holes that have been revealed, also because of the things that Julie Peck has also told us about the werewolves. So let's go ahead and begin. So guys, one thing that really stood out to me as this scene was progressing, I mean, it's kind of obvious. If anyone has any arguments, I mean, I don't really see how you can get around this, but it's obvious that these witches that were trying to kill the Hollow were Native American. So it's very interesting because that means that every single werewolf that lives in the world of the Vampire Diaries or the originals have Native American blood in them, which is really weird and stands out to me because if you remember in the first season of the originals, there's actually one werewolf pack they actually introduced called the Guerrera pack, and Guerrera, obviously they're of the Hispanic race. So I wonder how did that pack go dominantly Hispanic. I mean, I'm pretty sure that someone Native American ended up commingling with someone of the Hispanic race, but that entire pack has been taken over by, the Hispanic race. But I mean, now that, pretty much that pack is pretty much extinct, considering that they killed the last of them on the originals. But that was just very interesting to me because it seems that none of the packs have any Native Americans in them, not that I've seen. I mean, we haven't been introduced to all the packs, but mainly all the packs we've seen: the Lockwoods, the Guerreros, Klaus's pack, the Northeast Atlantic pack, the Bayou pack, the Crescent pack. None of these packs have any Native American in them. So I mean, I haven't really seen any Native Americans in any of these packs, but I mean, keep that in mind, guys. But one big question I have, and it's just flat out mind-blowing to me, is that if these werewolves that were turned by the Hollow were witches, then does that mean that these werewolves out here in the Vampire Diaries and the original, can they do magic, or was that a part of the curse? Because if that was a part of the curse, that means Julie Peck didn't release the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I mean, don't get me wrong. This whole thing that she wrote, I mean, it all comes full circle. It all goes together. But if you're going to tell us that a curse happens on full moon, you should at least tell us that these werewolves or witches could not do magic. Because if the magic is not a part of the curse, then that means that every single werewolf I've seen on the show can do magic, but they just don't know they can do magic. I mean, Julie Peck, do you know if they can do magic or not? I mean, I highly doubt you do, because I mean, you would have thought this through. I mean, we fans are not just out here brainstorming things up. I mean, this stuff has to come up. There are plenty of holes in this. So another thing I really want to talk about is, now that we've been introduced to the werewolves, are we going to find out who created these witches? Because I don't want to hear these witches just happen over, they just came up in the beginning of time. I mean, every other supernatural being was created. So these witches had to have been created by the Big Bang Theory, a strip of lightning or something. I mean, something did this stuff. I mean, and if you say that it didn't, and they just came up, I mean, that's just flat out garbage. But I do realize that you're going to have to come up with something big, because I believe the oldest witch that they've introduced in the original / the Vampire Diaries is like Silas in the Greek days. But I really did enjoy hearing how werewolves were created, and it really did raise a lot of questions. One thing that still is unanswered to me is the witches, of course. And on the Vampire Diaries, this is more of on that show. The Heretics, the group that was ran by Damon and Stephan's mom, that were half werewolf, half witch. I really want to know how they were created, because according to, the laws of Julie Peck in the Vampire Diaries, once you, have vampire blood in your system, and you're a witch, if you become a vampire, you can't be a witch anymore. But yet, these guys were both witch and vampire. I mean, how was that? I mean, I always thought that that was, you know, a question I should ask. I don't know if it was answered or not, but there are plenty of plot holes in Julie Peck's writing. And this whole werewolf thing totally brought one up. And it's so weird to me because a lot of people are, you know, really making a big deal that Haley is the descendant of an original werewolf. People are saying the original werewolf like that's a good thing. One thing you got to realize, guys, is that these little original werewolves are not like the original vampires because werewolves cannot live forever. So the werewolves that were originally made are probably just as strong or weak, depending on how you see werewolves, as the recent ones. Now, if werewolves could live, you know, over time and not die, then of course the ones who were first made would obviously be the strongest. I mean, the longer you live, the more wisdom you have and the stronger you get. But I mean, don't try to act like these original werewolves are strong or something. They are just as weak or strong, depending on how you see werewolves, as the recent ones. So those who are saying, oh, Hope Michelson is now an original werewolf descendant and an original vampire descendant, I mean, don't really get too caught up on that because original werewolf, I mean, that doesn't really make her too much stronger. I mean, don't get me wrong. Hope Michelson is a strong being, but I mean, that doesn't really change anything. But guys, if there are any more plot holes you guys have questions about or things you really noticed throughout this whole sequence with revealing the werewolf curse, please feel free to drop that in the comment section. Other than that, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And for more original videos, hit that subscribe button. Stay out of trouble, guys.